It's no secret that it's been a bad 2 weeks for President Biden. He's been flooded with questions about his mental fitness, his mental acuity. Can he serve for 4 more years? And but there is a little bit of good news, a glimmer of hope for him in your polling. You found that his job approval rating increased by 2% over the past month, from 37% to 39%. Is there any indication of why that is?
That's right. It did increase. I would, caveat that with that it's a slight increase, but an increase nonetheless. And we see that that's coming mostly from voters over the age of 60, from Black voters and minority voters overall, as well as independents. So those are three groups that are certainly must-wins for the Biden campaign. I think that he should be happy with that. But that said, a majority still disapprove. Roughly 18% of Democrats even disapprove of President Biden's job performance. So, it's not necessarily the best news, but it's not the worst news. And I think some of this could come down to the fact that, folks did watch the debate between President Biden and former President Trump. And I think maybe some of them liked what President Biden has done or what he stands for, but at the same time don't necessarily want to commit to voting for him right now. So while they may have increased in approval after hearing about some of the things that he's done, things that he wants to do, they aren't necessarily committing to voting for him.
A slight uptick's good, but 39% isn't that high. So right now he's sitting here less than 4 months away from November, from election day. He's the incumbent facing increasingly bad news. Historically, it's 39% right now where he's sitting running for re-election. Is that good news for a president?
No, that's not good news. We can see that his overall vote share is higher than that. So it's not as if, one is going to predict the other, but we do see historically that severely unpopular presidents like President Biden don't tend to win elections. I would be, as the Biden campaign, working to do everything I can to get that approval number up. It is an indicator of several of how he might expect the vote to turn out on election day. And frankly, I don't see how he will necessarily capture enough of the vote share to win on election day without roughly 40% approval.